There is the mental illness as we've always known it, right? So there's always been diagnosable mental illnesses. The other side of that is mental unwellness, right? So it's not the same category as mental illness. It's not necessarily diagnosable, treatable with medication. There's this mental unwellness, which I firmly believe comes from societal forces, comes from internet, comes from access to information, overload, a lack of self-awareness, a lack of purpose, a lack of direction. And then, there's just all of these dark forces that will suck you in.
Hello, hello, and welcome to Authentic Conversations. How are we today?
We're good. I don't know. What's the
We
option?
don't know.
What's the options? Give me the check boxes.
We're breathing, so let's start with that. And
Okay.
let's be
All right.
grateful. All right, guys. Well, I'm Arelis,
And I'm Susan.
and welcome to Authentic Conversations. If this is your first time, hello.
And we're grateful that we're breathing. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Gratitude is such an important part of everything, though, right? And what is gratitude? What exactly is gratitude? What's gratitude to you, Amaryllis?
Gratitude. I'm always grateful that I'm breathing, that I get to wake up another day.
Yeah. Another day to,
Figure this out.
Yeah, to set things right, to pay attention, to notice, to be aware. And I think in the practice of gratitude, it's like the notice and the awareness. We forget to be grateful. Like we notice the opposite of what we should be paying attention to, or what we need to be paying attention to in order to grow. So we notice what holds us back and weighs us down, versus noting what lifts us up and gives us opportunity. So the gratitude practice really is tapping into the idea of possibility, hope, opportunity. And we don't find that when we're beating ourselves up over the littlest things, or things that aren't going to matter in 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, however long it takes to work through things, so it's like gratitude is directly related to hope, opportunity, which all create growth, which all move us in a more positive direction. So I'd love to talk about gratitude. If you want to talk about gratitude today.
I would love to talk about gratitude. It's when it's like pray when, I've seen this thing where it says like, pray when, not when you just need something. And I think that's what we always do sometimes. We are humans being in the moment. We talk about this all the time. And so then all of a sudden when things are good, we're like, everything is great. I'm happy. I'm alone. Oh my God, I'm in love. And then when something happens that is not what we thought should happen, because we're not seeing in the moment why this is happening, we start asking the why is this happening to me? And now we forget to be grateful.
Yeah. And then we start asking external forces to fix it, when we can, use our own faith and our own best judgment to step back from the emotional part of the circumstance and find some clarity and move from our inner knowing. So when things are falling down around you, I want you to notice the things that are rising from the rubble. Yeah, it's kind of that whole phoenix rising thing, right? So when things are falling down around you, instead of paying attention to what's being released or let go of, look for the things that inspire hope or have come together as a result of the falling apart.
So I don't want to try to act like, we're living in this great world right now.
Things are falling apart. But there's always something to be grateful for.
And I know, and I just want to touch base on this really quickly, because I know that we make it sometimes seem so easy, like, let's be grateful, let's be happy. And there are people that are hurting, and because it wasn't even their doing, because of somebody else's doing. And if we look at other people who have had gone through this, a parent who has lost a child, foundations, more awareness, more fighting, and we're still fighting for this awareness. And right now, we're fighting now that I think we're noticing that it's about this, that mental.
Yes, it's about so I feel like there's two different kinds of mental illnesses. There is the mental illness as we've always known it, right? So there's always been diagnosable mental illnesses. But then the other side, then this is, purely just my feelings, my interpretation. The other side of that is mental unwellness, right? So it's not the same category as mental illness. It's not necessarily diagnosable, treatable with medication. There's this mental unwellness, which, I firmly believe comes from societal forces, comes from internet, comes from access to information, overload, a lack of self-awareness, a lack of purpose, a lack of direction. And then, there's just all of these dark forces that will suck you in, like that all you have to do is mistakenly do an internet search or misspell something, or, your curiosity leads you to look at something. And the next thing you know, you're bombarded with that. I mean, I don't care if it's a mattress or a plant stand or, whatever it is, the next thing you know, you're bombarded with it. So imagine a vulnerable person who is, looking at things that are harmful in nature, assault rifles. So what does the barrage of their feed look like compared to mine, which is plant stands and mattresses, right? So what is the barrage? So there's these unseen dark influences that have been, opened, that have never been there before. So when you look at, mass murders and, school violence in particular, it has accelerated since people have these little things in their pocket. It has accelerated since you have access to all of this information, all of the darkness, as well as all of the light. I mean, I'm sure my news feed looks very different than an 18-year-old troubled young man who is, searching for something. So yeah, we went there. We're talking about gratitude, right?
But we
Gratitude.
have to talk about it because
We do.
we are in the media, and we are also hoping that in that 18-year-old who searches something might be this video.
So why can't, when an 18-year-old searches something, why can't helpful things start to flood their feed? Like if we can create, if we're that good at marketing, if the internet is that good at tracking you and marketing you, then why isn't it red flagged? Why isn't it then counteracted with all of the light instead of, continuing to perpetuate darkness? So so going back to mental illness and mental unwellness, right? I do think that there's two different things. I believe that there, is a disease called mental illness that, people need to treat and need to manage and need to take care of. And then I think that there is a plague called mental unwellness that is created by the society that we live in. All of this division, all of this, who has what, all of this pretend reality out there, in social media. I think that we've just, it's a mess. And I trace some of its roots back to the internet. We weren't ready for all of this unleashed, for all of the good that the internet has to offer. There is such darkness that is, feeding and fueling those who can't distinguish between reality and, fantasy and delusion and illusion. Yeah.
Yeah. And, if you think that you need help, or you please reach out to somebody, send us
Anybody.
a message. I mean, this is why we are doing this video. This is why we've decided to have authentic conversations, because and the work that Susan does Thursday nights, the work that Susan does with athletes, she's in the school system, she's working with them one-on-one. We want to be out there because, again, we're back to talking to oneness, and our light is going to light somebody else's light, and that's what we're praying for. And we believe in this. We believe in the fact that my energy is contagious to somebody else's energy. So since you are strolling on TikTok or strolling on Instagram or whatever platform you find us on, that is our hope. And that is our prayer, that you're going to find this video and other videos that we have and meditations that we do out there for free, so that we can help this, because we have to use the tools that
Well,
are
we have
out
to.
there.
And the first tool is awareness. What am I paying attention to? So if you're a parent, and you're on social media as much as your kids are on social media, what are you paying attention to? Who are you paying attention to? If you don't set good boundaries, with your young adults. I mean, by the time that they're young adults, younger children, by the time that they're teens, they're really out of your sight more than they're in your sight. But, what kind of example are you setting if you are attached to the phone while you are in their presence? The message is attached to the phone because the phone is the resource. And then the resource is whatever, it turns into whatever they want. So really limiting screen time, creating more time for conversation and dialogue. Cell phones, the early 2000s, when cell phones became a thing and alternate reality became, real. That's when that's when isolation started. That's when, feelings of not enough. And this is all about awareness. So the first tool is awareness, being aware of your own relationship with technology, your own dependency with technology, your own habits created around it, and your own, like just noticing what it is that's showing up, because what's showing up is what you're looking at.
Yep.
It's like the mirror. We used to have that with people, right? So your 5 friends, we talked about your 5 friends in
Mm-hmm.
that episode, who are your 5 friends, they mirror you, or, that's the likeness, right? You want a more realistic version, your social media will throw it right back to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My aunt used to say, dime con quién tú eres, con quién andas, y te diré quién tú eres. And it's like, tell me, show me who you're hanging out with, and I'll tell you who you are.
Yes. Yes.
Because you're connected to that energy again. So if you're feeling like you're around people that are not lifting you, put it out there, pray however it is that you feel that you connect back to oneness, because we're all connected, and they will show up. I love the fact that, I felt that loneliness when I met Susan. I was searching because I was like, I'm in a different location. I am away from what I know. I'm a mom of 2 kids. I'm at home all the time. And God, you ask for something and then you don't know what you get. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And then all of a sudden I realized what an extrovert I am and how hard that was.
But
Those years were.
let's go back to gratitude. So being an extrovert and being uncomfortable in those challenging times made you grateful for what?
It made me grateful for who really I am. I am a people's person. And I'm grateful for the time that I was with my kids, because that's what I asked for. So in the uncomfortableness that I was feeling, because I was like, why am I not happy when I have everything I asked for?
Mm.
What's wrong with me? Like, really, what am I complaining about? Why am I not being grateful?
Yeah.
When I have 2 healthy children, an amazing husband. Oh, I kill him sometimes, but I love him. Like, I get to stay at home. I didn't think that was going to be a possibility for myself, for where I come from.
Right. Right.
So I asked for these things to the universe and I got them. And then I still had to search. Things were getting all like complicit, right? Like everything was at one level. Like I was just, okay, living in this bubble. And then all of a sudden I realized, like, I'm screaming at my kids, or I'm unhappy, or I'm complaining. And then all of a sudden I stop being grateful.
Yeah, you reached a plateau where you could not see hope, where you could not see, have faith that things were unfolding, where you couldn't find the light in the darkness, where you couldn't see what it was that, that you were looking for, because, hey, guess what? You had everything that you asked for.
Yeah. And then you're not filling your cup, because now you're feeling that you will, if you don't fill your cup, right? If you're not being a good mom and a good wife and taking care of the house, then you failed. And now all of a sudden, but you forgot you.
Yes, and it's okay to redesign or redefine what you want to ask for when you reach a plateau or you reach a certain point. You're like, okay, gosh, I asked for this and that was great and I got it and I'm in it
Grateful.
and I'm grateful that it all showed up, because it showed up and showed me, showed up and showed me. And now I can make the next right move, because I couldn't make the next right move until I had this experience and knew, because otherwise I would always wonder. If I hadn't gotten to that point, I would always wonder that if that should not have been my next right move. So you're like, yes, that was your next right move. Even if it was uncomfortable, it showed you what you needed to see in order to make the next right move. It's always about gratitude and trusting, and then, opportunity, like, so from this plateau, from this platform, from this, next higher level, now what opportunities do I see? Because every time you lift yourself up, your perspective of the opportunities change. Think about it. If you are ground level, if you're an earthworm, right? What are the opportunities? They look like blades of grass. They look like, you know what I mean? The
Mhm.
obstacles look like, birds, which are sick. But, now like think about if you're up in a tree, and everything is eye level. So if you're on top of a stump and everything is eye level, right? So you see different opportunities. And then, if you climb the part of the tree that's still alive and you're above eye level, different opportunities. And then if you happen to be able to jump onto the roof of the house and you are above, above the level of the landscape of the lay of the land, then you see differently. You see different opportunities. So we're grateful for the vantage point of the earthworm. We're grateful for the opportunity to be up on top of the stump. We're grateful for the opportunity to be on the tree. We're grateful for the opportunity to be on the roof. And, the sky's the limit. So you just keep going. From
Yep.
the airplane, you look out the window and you're grateful to see all the things, it's like, it's just such a beautiful opportunity if you can see it from a vantage point of opportunity.
Absolutely. And again, it's all about the energy that you put out there. So I remember when I found you was through Facebook. We're talking about, again, this social media. So I want to bring that back because, yes, it has great things. Yes, we're talking about more spirituality, more being aligned, and it's more of an open thing now than before. So I remember that as
Or maybe not. Maybe you're just more open to being open about it. Maybe it's always been open. You just weren't tuned into that channel, right? So now it feels more normalized for you because you have
the
embraced.
awareness.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We are just talking about awareness of like, even just to get off the subject real quick, but logos, right? Like my daughter just got a new job for a university, and that university is big here, but you didn't notice it because you weren't looking for it. So we were talking about it the other day and we're like, oh, and then I see license plates, and then I go to Walmart and there's t-shirts of it. And it's like, yeah, it was always there.
Yes, it was always there. You are just plugged into it now,
Yes. Yes.
seeking it and now plugged into it. And now
Absolutely.
sky's the limit, because once you have the awareness, then you can continue to seek, you can continue to rise, you can continue to shift your perspective, and you can continue to grow.
And guys, it's all here. It's first of all, it's not even between myself or Suzanne. We don't have the answers to yours.
It's all inside
It's
of you.
it's
It's
all
all,
inside of you.
everything that you need is inside of you.
So that inkling discomfort that you feel, or that energy that you feel, the way that, however it is that it speaks to you, God, Buddha, earth, nature, whatever it is for you, there's something there for everybody. And when you just feel that little tingling, that you're like, oh, that thought, that idea that comes in the shower, singers always talk about how music comes in the shower for them, right? That perfect hit. It's always like, oh, I was in the shower. Why? Because all of a sudden you're with yourself.
Yes.
You're in between thoughts. You're only thinking about the water and this. And then all of a sudden now you are more clear. And we kind of want to make this so romantic where we have to meditate all the time. No,
Or take several showers a day.
no,
No, no, the
just
truth is, if you can learn to pause with yourself, even if it's just, for moments at a time, people have a hard time just slowing down and recognizing. So a thought comes in and, just take a moment and explore that thought just a little bit deeper, use your breath, imagination, creativity, hope, they're all the same words, opportunity, hope, creativity. It's all the same. So, when you're feeling something, write it down and then, pull that back out and add to it, whatever it is.
right. Because when we're playful, imagination, you just mentioned that, Susan. And for me, that's been a big, when I do my card readings that I love, because I love to see images to kind of connect. That's how I connect, to figure out where I'm going. And it's a way for me. And I've been getting a lot of go back to be playful.
Yes. Yes. Childlike wonder is
Yes.
wonderful, full of
Take
wonder.
yourself out on a date, take your inner child out and play. And because we get so serious and we get for so, wanting to have things because now we're an adult and have to pay bills and we have kids, and all of the seriousness comes around. And again, you start forgetting who you are, your light.
You want to ride a bike again? Ride a bike. You want to
Yeah.
play in the sand? Go to the beach. You want to,
Color,
yeah, color, ride
color.
a horse. I don't care. Yeah, whatever it is.
Are you moving? Are you listening to your favorite song, whatever song that is that brings you back joy? Again, so that you're able to be grateful.
Yes,
Because
gratitude.
then you go back to that gratitude of that moment. When you're feeling like you're getting stuck energy, move around, move your body, play music, read your favorite book, or open it up really quickly and just flip through it. That's what I was going to do today. Was going to just flip through the message here and just see what opens up. It doesn't
Yeah.
always have to be that crazy.
I call them random
It's
page openings, whatever it is, you open to the page, you read that page, you get whatever it is you needed to see. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. I love. So, back to being, that's how, when you're trying to be grateful and saying like, well, guys, I like to always make it be like, okay, let's think about this, right? But it's a little things. And we say this the same thing over and over if you watch our videos. Let's be grateful for running water,
Yeah.
clean air,
Roof over your
um,
head, the
roof
ability to
over your
wake up.
head.
Yeah.
That
Food.
job that you have right now, if you're not happy, okay, but be grateful for it. And then start thinking about what's the next step then. If you're not happy there, what is it that you want to do?
What is your next right move? From the vantage point of gratitude, grateful to have the paycheck to pay the bills so that I can ponder or wonder what it is that I'd like to do next.
I love this one message that I read one time where it was like, even say thank you to your bills.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every time you get a bill, say thank you. I'm grateful that I'm able to pay this bill.
Yeah.
Because then when you're grateful, money is energy. So when the money has to go, money has to come back in. I had a best friend who always reminds me, because I can get a little, I have to be on a budget. And she's like, girl, like, you're holding on to that money too tight and it's not going to come back. Like, let it go. It's going to come back. Trust, believe. Again, it goes back to the same thing again. The faith, trust that the energy will all come back. And what you put out there will come back triple.
And you find what it is, what it is that makes sense for you. And, everything else will align.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Well, Susan, thank you so much for this time.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you. Limit
guys
your
for tuning
screen
in.
time, pay attention to what it is that you're paying attention to. Awareness is where everything starts with awareness.
All right. So if you want to catch up to us, we have our Thursday night meditations at 8:30. I know that we asked for an email, guys. We don't do newsletters. We don't have time for that. But that is the easiest way for us to send you the Zoom link. We don't want to just post it out there for just anyone at this moment. We feel like, we want to keep it in our community if you want to join us. So please, all you have to do in the comments is just put in an email address and we'll send you the link every Thursday night. It's free, cameras off, mics off. It's just your moment. We're so grateful that Susan takes the time out from her day to do this. And then again, we're on TikTok, Spotify. You can find us through a podcast and here on YouTube. So thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. So bye.
Take care. Bye. Have a great day.